Hi, Janelle here with Sheep Hill Herbs. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to another video. Let's take a deep breath together. Hands on your heart. Take a deep breath in and let it out. Before we get started with the video, please like, subscribe, hit the bell button, comment. Check out my description down below. I have my link tree there. And that is where I link to all of the recommendations that I have. My own books on Amazon, self-published. Mountain Rose Herb for buying your bulk herbs. My Etsy shop where you can find my Advanced Home Herbalist course and more. So check out that description. Today's video will be a string of different clips of how to make elderberry syrup, and I have made this video in various forms over the years. Always at this time of year, Thanksgiving, Christmas time, I make a lot of elderberry syrup and just kind of like to do a new video each time that I come back to making it. It is one of my favorite remedies. I don't know what's better. It's really great, and I'm going to share some information about the elderberries and how they can help your body. But let's get started. Haven't made elderberry syrup for a while, since last winter, and it is very popular right now. And I'm going to share with you why it's so good. But let's first make it. I'm looking here. These are frozen elderberries. And you can see there's a few little unripe ones. I tend to work with the frozen. I like it. I like making the syrup that way a little bit better. And I can get them for a good price at a local Mennonite store. So beginning with 2 cups frozen elderberry. All right, so besides my own knowledge, I am going to share some book knowledge, and I'm sharing from The Complete Medicinal Herbal by Penelope Odie, a practical guide to the healing properties of herbs. So the elder plant, I shouldn't say plant, bush becomes a tree is fascinating. And I don't like to get into like herbal fads, but elderberry became very popular since 2020, and herbs can go in waves, and they have their peak time or moment in the sun, 10 minutes of fame, whatever. Peppermint might be an herb like that, but peppermint is just so integrated into our food culture that we don't see it as super unique. Elderberry, the tree, or if you have a bush, is just amazing. The flowers are spectacular, and then the little berries grow. It's very highly recommended you do not eat the raw berries. In fact, the frozen berries I'm using in the video has a warning on the label not to eat them. I have had a fresh berry, 1 or 2 before, but they have emetic properties, meaning it can cause vomiting. So, elder is Sambucus nigra. A wealth of folklore is associated with the elder, which is often described as a complete medical chest because of its numerous therapeutic and prophylactic qualities. Classed as hot and dry by Galen, the herb was used for cold, damp conditions such as catarrh, excessive mucus, or water retention. So this is why this herb is so good for colds, because it is working to reverse that mucousy condition. In the 17th century, it was a favorite for clearing phlegm, both as an expectorant for coughs and as a diuretic and violent purgative. Violent purgative, probably if you're eating it raw. Elderflower water was a favorite in the 18th century for whitening the skin and removing freckles. Do not have experience with that. Do not know about that. All right, so let's just go down here to berries. Oh, maybe I'll show you a little picture. This is a little picture, doesn't do justice, but the flower is this beautiful lacy flower. Reminds me of Queen Anne's lace, and many people often misidentify this plant. I get pictures, people send me photos asking me what plant is what, to identify, and they often confuse elder with poke. Similar time of fruit turning purple. Well, elder is before poke, but you don't want to pick the wrong one. The berries were once an important source of vitamin A and C, and in the days before imported winter fruits, elderberry wines and syrups were a useful prophylactic against seasonal colds. Harvest in autumn when ripe. Okay, so the actions, there's a long list of actions. I'm going to just name some of them specifically for berries. You can use the flowers, the bark, the leaves of the elder plant, but berries are what we know more popularly. Elderflower is in a number of different tea blends. The berries are diaphoretic, meaning they cause sweating when you drink it hot. Diuretic, meaning it helps your kidneys clear. And laxative. And in that list, we do not have expectorant, but the berries are expectorant. So you might notice, like if you have a cough or chest congestion, you take the syrup, you're going to have like a looser cough. It's going to help get rid of that cough. Okay, so this is a really cool elder recipe blend for the flower. So you can drink hot for feverish conditions involving the lungs or the respiratory tract, including hay fever, and combine it with yarrow, boneset, peppermint in equal proportions. So that's the flower. Sounds like a very delicious blend, and I know all those herbs are amazing for colds. Usually, if anyone has a cold or beginnings of one, we get out the big pot, make gallons of tea for my family to drink. So I often get the question, like, how much elderberry syrup should I take? Okay, so if you want to take it as a preventative, I would say you're around, people, maybe someone was sick, go home, take a tablespoon, if you're an adult, teaspoon or half teaspoon for child, just for good measure, daily basis, a week or so, just to help keep away the cold that you might have been introduced to. If you are sick, I usually say anywhere from like 3, maybe 4 or 5 times a day in smaller dose amounts, like half a teaspoon to a teaspoon. For children, I would do like just some drops, like 10 drops, maybe 20 drops at a time. And then that would be more frequent throughout the day. When you are sick with something, it's better to have smaller amounts hourly or every 2 hours so that your body is constantly having some kind of herbal support during that time. All right, so I'm gonna let you go, and you can watch the rest of the video on me making the syrup. You want to cover your elderberries with water. I have about 3 cups of water here. You could do 3 to 4 cups. Usually I double the water per amount of berry when making the syrup. I want to make this a little bit stronger, so I went with 3. And I'm also going to add some cinnamon sticks. I don't often add anything extra, but I'm feeling festive here with the holiday season, so I want to add some cinnamon. And add 2 cinnamon sticks, and now I'm simmering this down to about 1.5 cups of liquid. I'm going to put the heat on about 3 to 4 and let it simmer for quite a while, and I'll be able to see the line in the pot drop down, and when it's about halfway, then I'm going to strain it. Here, the elderberry tea is simmering down. You can see the dark purple line in the pot. Looking good. And then I just want to show you here, I have started straining the elderberries. I'm just pushing down with my finger. You want to use either cheesecloth or like a wooden spoon and just press out all the juice. I have exactly 1.5 cups, which is what I wanted to simmer down to. So I did a perfect job eyeballing the level and pouring the really strong tea decoction back into the pot. And now I'm going to add equal parts this delicious golden honey. So I'm going to do 1.5 cups per my 1.5 cups of decoction. And I'm going to low heat, very low, for like a minute and start stirring to blend this together. So just take a look here. There we go. I think I'm going to start stirring it out. Look at the nice golden honey underneath the tea. Now it's going to turn into a syrup, and it thickens as it sits. Like once I pour it into the jar, it's going to thicken more. And last thing you want to do is label. You have to label everything. I have what it is, elderberry syrup, the date, and all the ingredients that I put in the jar. And then refrigerate. We refrigerate our elderberry syrup. Last